So basically, he went out, and then his tank got turned into Lego bricks, like just vaporized.
Bro, I told you not to let Hodja drive the tank. Dude can't aim for shit.
Zumwalt, we've got incoming. Looks like hostile aircraft. Altitude low.
What kind?
Couldn't tell. It was pretty dark outside and I couldn't make out the shape. Could be a B-29. Could be a B-2.
Battle stations, let's get a move on. Send the drones. If they're looking for a fight, they're gonna get one.
Hello everybody, my name is Welcome, and pretty much I've been on a bit of a side quest, hence why it's taken such a while to upload this, and I know this isn't really my usual format. Usually I'd be doing story time videos, or at least I plan to be. Yeah, but anyway, with the little intro cutscene that you guys saw, yeah, that was pretty much like a contractual obligation to my friends. I hope you guys liked it. Anyway. The reason why I'm making this video is because every single time I play War Tycoon nowadays, I stumble across people that use ships. Don't exactly main them. Some do, but most of them just kind of completely suck. Because they seem to not understand some very, very elementary things about ships. So here I am, educating you guys on how to use ships in War Tycoon. I guess, first of all, I should give a brief rundown on every single vehicle category in naval. Currently, there are 7 categories of naval vehicles, those being patrol boats, which is only the Barracuda right now, gunboats, corvettes, there's only one of those right now, destroyers, hovercrafts, other amphibious vehicles, you know, like APCs and stuff. Whatever the hell this is, and also submarines. So, elaborating a little bit on what I said previously, the only patrol boat in the game right now is the Barracuda. You can spawn the Barracuda basically anywhere at any ship repair spot in the entire map. It has 4 cargo capacity, and it's extremely vulnerable to explosives. Personal suggestion is just don't get it into fights. The thing can defend itself, sure, but like, barely. And then we get to gunboats. They have a lot of firepower, they are relatively fast, hard to board. Most of them have 2 cargo capacity, and actually they are capable of taking down bigger ships with good positioning. Trust me, I've defeated countless amounts of destroyers with gunboats. It really is not that difficult. Also, as a personal suggestion, if you're starting out with naval, in order to get your aim down with the cannons, just start off with gunboats. When it comes to the Douglas in particular, it requires a lot of mechanical skill, and well, once you get it, the thing is pretty much like almost as strong as a typical destroyer, while also having the good traits of being hard to board and being fast as well as small. Now, when we get to corvettes, the Sigma class, being the only corvette in the game right now, means that there isn't really much known about like their intended purpose in the game. But when looking at this one ship a bit more closely, it shares the same flaws as destroyers, but it also has some more flaws, like its lack of sonar, a lack of radar, and the fact that you can only really take out submarines if they're right behind you. Also, the lock-on time for the missiles on the Sigma class is like forever. Despite this, it still stands as a very good counter to other ships in the game. Now, we get to destroyers. They have the highest amount of firepower in the game as well as health, and they're extremely slow, which is a surprise to no one. But what is a surprise though is that despite them having such a low skill floor of you just being able to spam your missiles and being able to perform at least somewhat decently, they actually have a very high skill ceiling due to their tricky cannon aim, and also the fact that they're stupidly easy to board, meaning you need to figure out a way to deal with boarders, which I will elaborate on in the tips and tricks section of the video. And also they're massive targets for, you know, smaller ships that can basically just like live inside your walls, so to speak. And we're not gonna talk about that thing, okay? It does not deserve to exist. Yes, it has the highest range in the game, and its cannon as hits can, but it is literally military tycoon slop that does not deserve to exist. Whichever developer decided that it was a good idea adding this thing in the game instead of even a Zumwalt variant, what is wrong with you? The thing's monitors are blue. The screens are blue, and then the monitors themselves are blue. Like, I don't know what to say. Hovercrafts are extremely fast vehicles. They can both go on land and water, and, well, their weaponry is somewhat decent, but when it comes to the Tempest and its two variants, well, they don't really have any countermeasures, so you gotta get good at dodging, or else you're pretty much just screwed. Now, when it comes to other amphibious vehicles, they're a bit strange, because the thing is, they are ground vehicles, but, well, a lot of the time you actually do use their amphibious features, which, when you're in the water, you go extremely slow, but since you are halfway in the water, you're pretty hard to hit. Also, pretty much all of them are airdroppable, and some of them have a mobile armory, which can be pretty nice for base raiding, actually, or other purposes, which, well, I've never gotten the opportunity to use them for. Now, a bit more on that abomination. It's still not as much of an abomination as the military tycoon slop, but yeah, no, this thing is the single fastest ship in the entire game. Actually, it's one of the fastest things in this game in general. It melts ships in seconds, and, well, it's the size of a destroyer, but it's hard to board. It's a very strange vehicle. I got it only because of this video, and it's definitely interesting, to say the least. Submarines have a pretty much global range. The thing is, though, if you are spotted while using one, you're pretty much gonna be erased off of the planet. I mean, back in the day, people would actually try to board your submarine, and that could be easily countered by putting a claymore at the entrance, basically making it so anyone that tried to enter it just simply couldn't. But, well, now that that isn't really the case, yeah, no, you're just gonna get absolutely erased. And here comes the fun part of the video. The thing is, ships are not weapons. Ships are stages on which you force the enemy to act out a story that you've already planned. Now, the naval journey for people starts at gunboats. You see, in order to become a true naval main, you must first perfect your aim. And the thing is, destroyers have a lot of missiles which aren't really, you know, that skillful to use. So first you want to build up your aim before, you know, you can graduate to using bigger ships. And the thing is, a lot of the tips I have here are in relation to destroyers. Now with that out of the way, you might expect a lot of the tips for me to give you to be in relation to dealing with literally every other vehicle category in the game. The thing is, though, a lot of it evolves down to mechanical skill at the end of the day when it comes to, like, actually dealing with enemy vehicles, right? Ground vehicles, you just have to catch them lacking, and if you can't catch them lacking, just kind of go away. It's not like they can really do much about it. Air vehicles, just shoot them out of the sky with your cannons. Submarines are sitting ducks, and other ships, well, I mean, you can just simply outposition them. Oh, I guess that's one tip I can give in terms of that. In ship-to-ship engagements, try to have as much cover as possible while having only the part of your ship that has a cannon exposed. This can pretty much guarantee that the enemy can't hit you with their own weaponry, maybe except for also their cannon, which can pretty much guarantee a win in a lot of fights. Another thing to take into account is that different ships have different ranges. The military Tycoon slop currently having the highest range out of any ship, basically meaning that it kind of wins most naval engagements just by kind of existing, because it can hit you while you can't hit it. Most ships have a range of around 3,000 studs. That's around where their bullets start despawning. Now, missiles, on the other hand, well, I mean, they can reach further, but, like, their lock-on range can be shorter, unless we're talking about destroyers like the Zumwalt. Now, here comes the part that most people tend to screw up. You see, when you have destroyed people's vehicles so much and pissed them off a lot, they will come to the realization that the only way to beat you is by going on your ship and shooting you right in the face. Now, the thing is, that is extremely easy to deal with, and I don't really understand why literally everyone on the face of the planet just kind of takes it, right? Like, if there is someone trying to hijack your ship, instead of, I don't know, getting ambushed by them, what you should do is, well, kind of be a bit insufferable, I guess. Basically, the best strategy as the captain when your ship is getting hijacked is literally playing mind games with your opponent. By that I mean setting up traps. Some locations include these ones. Calling in an airstrike on your own ship. Personal favorite, the napalm one, because, well, it doesn't really damage your ship that much, and if you just so happen to not kill the person with the napalm, you can always just get in the driver's seat, not be damaged by your own napalm, and just kind of drive your ship through the napalm until the enemy on your ship eventually just kind of dies. Then there's also, you know, getting in the water, right? A lot of people have a tendency to not grab a diving suit or an underwater rifle. That means that when it comes to underwater gunfights, they kind of just automatically lose, right? So obviously you want to get that person in one of those. Now, for the people that actually do bring a diving suit and an underwater rifle to an underwater gunfight, basically what you want to always be doing in an underwater gunfight is never swim towards the enemy. You always have to be swimming away from the enemy. This is in order for the enemy to not be able to headshot you. But if they're swimming toward you, well, you can headshot them, which basically guarantees that you have a faster time to kill with your gun. Here's a random thing I might as well throw out. Aircraft in this game are genuinely useless because of ships. Just take that into account. And when there's a plane coming right at you, just know that you are not the one who should be scared. It should be them, because diving straight at you is like suicide. Now, I do have to admit, for this next part about submarines, I am nowhere near being an expert in terms of submarine gameplay, but some of my teammates from the faction are. The street worker helped me make the script for this part of the video. So pretty much, you should never engage a fight you know you can't win head on. You don't want to sit on the bottom of the water, but not on the surface either. Find something in between that fits the type of submarine you are on. Some need to dive a bit deeper to fully submerge, and some don't. If you are a sub in a fleet and want to use the torpedoes, you should be in the front of the fleet so you don't hit them. To reduce the risk of friendly fire, you should not use your fire and forget missiles either, also known as the cruise missiles, because they target literally everyone, doesn't matter if they're friend or foe. Same goes for the torpedoes. Instead, you should fire your TV-guided missiles and also your ballistic missiles or suborbital missiles to catch the enemy off guard. I'm pretty sure that's quite self-explanatory. Now, more on the suborbital and ballistic missiles. Never, and I mean never, use them if you are in the middle of a war zone, because they can leave you vulnerable, because in order to fire them, you need to surface. So only use them if you have allies covering you, or if you are in the middle of nowhere. Oh, and another little thing. You see, you can actually use submarines as mobile troop deployers, because, like, pretty much everyone inside the submarine is fully concealed, and then suddenly, you can just have a swarm of soldiers just appearing, all strapped with guns, and they can also airdrop vehicles. Now, technically, you could do this with other vehicles, but submarines are the safest option because they have the option of having escape pods, which lets everyone on board be ejected safely with an escape pod if the submarine were to go down. So, a new update dropped. You are now able to spawn UAVs and UGVs from literally anywhere in the map. And this happened in the middle of me making the video. But, yeah, pretty much, there's actually something for people on board submarines to do, which is, you know, spawning in UAVs. And on ships, well, if you get close enough to the coast, you can get some UGVs on the land. Possibly. Just saying, there's a lot of possibilities with this. And yeah, with that, that should conclude the War Tycoon Naval Guide. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video and actually, you know, found something beneficial from it. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later.
If you trust the borders.
I mean, I could just set up a fucking claymore, bro. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
He trusts the borders. I'm going to let him borders.
Okay, I'm just gonna fucking plant a bajillion explosives, because at this point I can't even be certain about whether or not they're gonna work, because I've had the amount of time where they haven't. Well, there's 4 explosives there, and they all killed me.